Welcome to the Moto Asha podcast. This week we have Martin, a German who's traveling on his motorcycle around the world, and he has the most interesting companion, a pet cat.
So, my name is Martin. I'm from Germany. I'm 34 years old. I'm not married, which is what many people are asking. So 3 years ago in 2017, in August, I started a trip that then was only planned to go to Dubai, and I was dreaming of going further, but I didn't know how because of money issues and that. So first, I stayed some time in Dubai, then I kept going to Iran, Pakistan. I came to India in 2018. I managed to make some money in Dubai by working, and then I could continue the trip to India and to Nepal, which I did through Iran and Pakistan. And in India, I was staying sometime in Uttarakhand. I started working on a book. Because by then, the publisher had contacted me and asked me to write a book, which then became the idea to again finance the trip. Because with the money I had earned in Dubai, I only knew I would make it until Nepal. But I didn't know how to go on. So that book deal came up in between. The publisher had contacted me. So I started, after I had an accident in Uttarakhand, I started sitting down on the book. And that took me 7 months in Uttarakhand, I think. And then I went to Nepal to finish the book for the next 5 months. And after that, my visa was expired. I rushed out of Nepal. I came back to India and through Madhya Pradesh. Crossed India again, came over to Pune, which is where I met you and Priyanka. Yeah, and then from there, things went south. I came all the way down to Kerala, and I was on my way to Kanyakumari to pretty much start the return trip back to Germany, the southernmost point of India. So then Corona came, and I got stuck in Calicut. So I've been in Calicut since March. That is, what do we have now? October. So that's like almost 8 months. So yeah, since then I've been sitting it out. I've been waiting it out, and now it looks like soon it can continue. And the plan is to go back to Germany early next year and arrive maybe in summer or autumn 2021 back in Germany. So let's see.
So you have started traveling from Germany, right? You started riding from Germany.
Yes, I started riding in Rosenheim, yes, in the south of Germany.
Okay. And then how did you get into India? So just run us through the countries that you've been to over time.
Okay, sure. So there's a whole bunch of European countries that you cross every day, like one country. That was the beginning. I went into Austria, from Austria to Slovenia, and then to Croatia, and Croatia to Bosnia, and then to Montenegro, to Albania, Greece, Turkey, Iran, UAE, back to Iran, Pakistan, India, Nepal, and back to India. And I did a visa run to Sri Lanka, if you want to count that as an extra country.
Yeah.
And I've also done a few small trips to Oman as well.
Okay.
So I forgot the count. I think it should be around 70, I don't know, 60 countries, something like this, I don't know. Yeah.
So where are you off to next now? Is this, or do you ride back to Germany? What do you do now?
Yeah. So short-term plans now are going to Wayanad. Tomorrow I'm going to go to Wayanad. It's a very nice district down here in Kerala. It's hilly and it's a little bit colder, and there's lots of wildlife to be seen there. And it's just beautiful in the mountains and in the jungle.
Yeah.
So that is my next destination. We want to spend 2 to 3 weeks in the jungle camping.
Yeah.
And then after that, I want to still do the ride to Kanyakumari. So I'm going to try to make it again. That depends if my visa gets extended again or not, but I think it will. And then after Kanyakumari, this will be the beginning of the return trip. So slowly I want to make my way up to the north again. I'm planning to exit through Wagah border to Pakistan after spending some time in Rajasthan.
Okay.
And then going through Pakistan back to Iran, and then going north, going through the Stan. I don't know which way exactly, but there's many ways from there. up to Kazakhstan and then to Russia, and then through Russia I want to go back towards Western Europe and reach back in Germany.
Wow.
So that's the plan. That's the route for the way back.
Yeah. So if I was to ask you, how much time does somebody need to do this circle? If I have to put it that way.
All the time you can get.
All the time.
Sure.
Okay.
All the time you can get, for sure. I mean, there's obviously always the possibility of rushing it, but rather than rushing such a big trip, if I didn't have enough time, I would rather go somewhere, just pick out a smaller area, and then just spend more time in that area and explore. Because if you just try to rack up countries on your number of visited countries, you're missing out on all these experiences. So I'm definitely thinking slow travel is so much better and so much more worth it, and it's definitely so much more cheaper. If you travel fast, you travel very expensive. So the slower you travel, the cheaper you will travel.
Yeah.
And the more personal moments you get out of it, the more connections with the people, and the more things you actually get out of it. So I don't think it's worth rushing anything. So for the way back, I'm planning to take about 6 months.
Wow. So that's a good tip. That's a very good tip you've put out there, which is slow travel is cheaper than fast travel. Simple.
Much cheaper. For example, since I've been in Calicut, I haven't really spent much money because I've been staying with families. People have been inviting me and feeding me, and
Yeah, interesting.
That's just a good example.
Yeah, I've always I can plan a Saturday, Sunday weekend ride, and I still get stressed out. Like I look at you and I'm like, this guy's been on the road for some time, but so do you really? How do you not get stressed that I have to be there? The destination, the money.
Well, I think you do. Weekend ride, you kind of have so many factors now. Like you have to be back at work on Monday. That's the biggest one, and you don't have to if you just sit out. And I don't have rigid plans. Like I'm just looking at what's possible, which doors opening in front of me, which routes can I take, which countries can visit, so I can just go day by day and just take these things as they come, and then not stressing out about them is a big factor, because if you do, you'll end up stressed out about everything all the time, and then you won't be able to enjoy it as much. So just take things as they come, and what I've learned is that there's always something happening.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know the day before. You'd be looking like some situations that you don't know a way out, but then you sleep the night over, the next morning you wake up. Something always happens, and somehow it's always continuing, and it always has been, so there's no point in stressing out about these things.
Yeah.
Just take them as they come, just go with things as they come. That's it.
Yeah. So is there a limit to something for you? Is there a limit? I'm asking this because there's a limit that, hey, listen, I might have this much money left, and this is where I have to stop traveling. Or is there, do you have a limit of something?
I haven't really thought about that, to be honest, but I did have that idea of also returning back to Germany, and I guess the limit is to not travel the whole world.
Okay.
Because I've also been that's obviously one thing. I'm already here. I might as well think about traveling the whole world.
Yeah.
But then there's some issues that make it very expensive to go further west from here. Like some countries would be impossible. I'd have to even maybe ship my bike and do these things, and that's all very expensive. And then even if I go on to Australia, again, I have to ship. So I guess that's one limit. I'm sure if I would really set out for it, I could do it, but it's not what I have in mind right now.
Okay.
And I've been out on the road for 3 years now. By the time I get back, it will be 4 years. I feel also it's time to not settle, but just do something maybe with these experiences, like connect the dots.
Yeah.
And actually do something with it, and make something sustainable, because also I'm not having a job right now, and we all got to live from something, and it would be nice to do maybe a tour business, or maybe do something where I can just get my experience of these different cultures, make them work, and create something from that. And I'm very eager to do something also. So it's sustain myself for when I'm getting older, and also my mom is getting older, of course. So I want to be able to provide for my parents when they get older. So
Yeah. Good.
So yeah.
So
I also am now thinking about going back slowly.
Yeah. So I guess you're enjoying India for sure, because you've probably spent a lot of time here, right?
About 2 years, I think. India and Nepal together was 2 years. Yeah. India is amazing. It is one of the best countries, if not the best country that I've traveled to. Mainly because it is so diverse. It is like a whole bunch of countries in itself. I will tell you that anyway.
Yeah.
So you have so many different cultures, foods, philosophies, landscapes, climate, whatever you want is here. And most of it is somewhere in India at all the time in the year.
Yeah.
So,
and they're they're really kind to motorcyclists, I'm assuming, because, I mean, that's something that...
Not just motorcyclists, like Indian people in general are very kind. Like, the experience I have made with Indian people have been almost entirely good.
Yeah.
I mean, some idiots you meet, right? That happens. But generally, I've always met good people. That was incredible.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that makes India, of course, like one of the best countries to travel. Like all these.
Yeah.
The hospitality is fantastic.
Yeah.
That is one good thing there.
So let's get to the more exciting part. I mean, and I know it's something that's really caught a lot of people's eyes, which is you're traveling with a cat, right?
Yeah.
And you're traveling with a cat that was not always with you. It's just a pet that you have got over your travel.
Yes, that was a different trip.
Yeah.
That was pretty much my preparation for this trip. We went down to Morocco.
Yeah.
I did a bit of off-roading. I learned how to handle that heavy bike because I didn't really have any experience with that. I learned what to pack and how to pack and just get some off-road skills and all that. So that was my preparation trip for this. My friends went and I just decided to come along.
Yeah.
And so on the way back from this trip, I found Mogli.
Okay.
And then since she was there, she was okay with the bike and as I said before, I just go with things. So then I had the cat, and then I was just gonna take care of her, and started obviously thinking about what to do, like how do I get her ready for this. So I just thought about it, and decided to take her along to all these places to keep her used to motorbike. Like we've done a few trips in Germany and like Austria, and just started kind of preparing for that. That was just one more preparation for the trip then.
Yeah.
And be ready, get her vaccinated, get her healthy, because she wasn't that healthy, like she had an injured tail and some things needed to be done, like she needed to be chipped and vaccinated and all that. So yeah, it just added to my list of things that I had to do.
Yeah.
I just went with it, yeah.
So she's traveled with some part of the travel that you've been with, right? She's traveled most. Is it most part of the travel, or is it just some part of it?
No, she was there from the beginning. I had her home for about half a year, and then we started together.
Yeah.
So she was there for the whole trip. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So there's one question that a lot of people keep. I mean, there's somebody who asked us when they saw your profile, which was, how do you manage your finances? I mean, and it's a very personal question, but I mean, what would you? I mean, I'm not going to ask you. I mean, but if you were to suggest somebody if they wanted to do a world tour, what would you suggest, and how would you? What would you tell them? That you can go ahead with this.
Well, I'm not the guru in this. I can tell you what I did and what generally works. Like generally, obviously, like saving up money, that works. That's what I did. I was working 2 jobs in Germany just to save up for that trip. But then you just got to look at your own situation. There's many ways to make this work, and it is an individual thing. So just recently I came across a story about some people traveling by painting. So instead of paying money, they will paint a picture.
Okay.
And that works fantastic. And I've met people that rely on donations, which is obviously can go wrong. And it depends what these people are doing if it goes wrong. But that is one way.
Okay.
There's one way to offer your help. They call roofing in Australia. So basically, you stay with the family or whatever, and then you just offer 2-3 hours or 4 hours of your time in exchange for food and accommodation. So that is one way to go about. There's many different ways. Couch surfing is one way. Stay with strangers on their couches to keep the costs down. And like there's many ways to actually keep the costs down, or to some people actually travel completely without money as well. So that is one way. That's one extreme, of course. But anywhere in between, traveling with a lot of money, and that just depends your situation and what you can do. So for me, first I worked these 2 jobs in Germany. I was delivering pizza after my normal work, and then friends and family, obviously, also after some time they started giving me some money and shipping, and for my birthday, my grandmother would transfer some money like this. These are not huge amounts, but over time they do definitely make a difference, for sure. Yeah, so I've had support from home as well. And then when I was in Dubai, after 3 months, I found a job, and then I found a second job. So again, I was working 2 jobs. I was actually also helping my friend in his company, so I got 2.5 jobs. So basically, I just worked hard, and I stayed in Dubai for 7 months again.
Yeah. So basically, you got to plan. You have to plan 6 months in advance, or a year, or something like that.
I didn't know this. No, I just went to Dubai because I could stay with my friend. So that was one good option to keep the costs down again. And then I just went with what happened, because I didn't know if I'm gonna find a job first off, or if I would have to just return to, like, I had pretty much enough money just to buy a return ticket to Germany.
Oh, okay.
So that I could have done. Yeah. And that would have been my option if I didn't find the job. But then things again, they just fell into place. I found 2 jobs, and then I again was working my ass off. And working hard and living cheap, not wasting my money, like not going out drinking or buying some useless things that I don't need. I don't have a watch or anything like that. So basically, I stick to the things that I need. And without money, I knew I could make it to Nepal, and again, I would have about enough money left to buy a return ticket to Germany. I didn't know what to do from there, so again, I just went, and then I just went with what happened. And what happened is that the publisher had contacted me and asked me if I want to write a book. And so the normal thing is that they just pay some money up front, so to give the author the time to write the book, which is what they did, and which is what happened. So I took their money. I stayed put in one place. Obviously, it was a cheap place. I was living very cheap. I was living very, very basic. And was just focusing on the book, writing it for 7 months, and then pretty much doing the same thing in Nepal. After my Indian visa expired, I had to go to Nepal. So there I finished it after 5 more months of work. And that money was still enough to get me down to surfing. And then I was hoping if some more money from the book comes in, then maybe it will be enough to bring me back as well. And now it actually looks like it will all happen.
What is the book called? Sorry, we've not asked.
So the book is only in German for now. I'm looking for a publisher in English. So the title is Einmal mit der Katze die halbe Welt.
Okay.
That means with a cat around half the world.
Wow. So the cat has made you popular. Nice.
I mean, there's so many people traveling around, but I wouldn't normally be noticed, and I don't think I would have even bothered making an Instagram account. So, it's pretty much because of her,
Good.
First I helped her, and now she helps me. It's fantastic.
Good stuff. I've always, so I know we're running short of time, but there's a cat versus dog theory, which is, dogs are so much more, they will not run away. They're very loyal to their masters.
Are you talking about traveling or just general?
Just general. And this, I think your story is debunking that myth. Is that true?
Maybe not debunking, like when it comes to handling a dog, I guess it's much easier. But if your cat is used to these things, then it would be very good. Like if you invest in that to establish that connection, I guess. And I think it's maybe a few factors. Like I've had cats before, and for sure they wouldn't be very good for traveling.
Okay. So she's a special cat.
The circumstances also have just made it that way. I found her when she was very young. She must have been about 2 months old. So that was one thing.
Yeah.
And then because I was also taking her to different places constantly, she really understood that the only thing that is not changing is that I'm there.
Yeah.
Everything else might change. So she just understands that, and then I also look out for her and make sure we got a good connection.
Good.
But just by trying to understand her and actually going with that and giving her clear signals, and that way there's a good, fairly good communication. It's not like the same as a dog. She would not react like a dog. She's still a cat and does what she wants.
Yeah. Great.
But definitely a different connection than just having a cat roam around your house. Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff, man, Madan. It's actually a very inspiring story. More than that, we all find this very inspiring. We wish you all the best, man. Like, we wish you all the best for all your travels ahead and her being around and all that. So, thank you, man. Thanks for sharing your knowledge and information. We'll always love to have you back again.
Hi again, it's Suhaib. Thanks for listening to this podcast. If you have anything to say about motorcycles and more, DM us on Instagram, and I'll be more than happy to get you on the show and hear your experiences.